Okay, hello again. I think we're having a little bit of a bad connection because we are having bad weather here in the Pearland area. So sorry if the connection's kind of bad. Anyway, as I was saying in the other video that I just deleted because we got disconnected, we're going to start sharing the video with people that asked to be shared with, and we'll get rocking and rolling here in a minute. We'll let everyone start to come in and start joining in the conversation. So meanwhile, everyone joins in. I do have a little bit of disclaimers and news and updates to give you guys. So the first thing I want to say is, I'm just sharing my experiences. I am only going to answer as much as I can about real estate. I'm only going to give you my suggestion or my opinion on how to do this this business, I guess you could say. So that's my first thing is, I'm not coaching you guys. It's just my experiences and how I started in real estate. The next thing I want to say is, I know there's a lot of people asking me, like, am I doing real estate still? Because I've been sharing a lot of my fancy Stella & Dot jewelry. Check it out. Look at this. Fancy, fancy. So, yes, I am still doing real estate, as I've been for the past 5 years. But as of recently, I started to, I got involved, introduced to Stella & Dot, which is the jewelry that I'm rocking and rolling right now. So I got introduced to it, and I think it's a great company. And we all, girls and some guys, wear jewelry. So I wanted to go ahead and join that wonderful company that is Stella & Dot, and get paid a little bit of side money and fun money to do my, I guess, sales for Stella & Dot. So I'm still doing real estate, but if you like any of the pieces that I'm wearing, hit me up. I can hook you up on some of these wonderful pieces that I'm wearing. It's only for fun, so I'm not going to stop doing real estate. I'm still going to be investing. I'm still going to be looking for fire damaged houses. So this is just a little side business for fun, to hang out with girls, because as most girls know that real estate is a guy's world, and so we need a little fun and a little sparkle in our lives. So that's why I'm doing this, and it's only for fun on the weekends or on a day that I have off. So enough about Stella & Dot, because this is not about Stella & Dot. This is about real estate investing. So the next thing I wanted to tell you guys is that I will be speaking at Prosperity on August 10th, I believe. Yeah, August 10th. So if you guys are interested in joining that that event, let me know. Comment below, and that way we can go ahead and tag one of the people that are in charge of that event, and that way we can get you guys to that information to go to that event. So the next event that I will be speaking at is for Spanish speaking, I guess, public, and it's an event that's hosted by This Latina Buys Houses. So I will go ahead and tag those people on this video, so hopefully they can put their information down, and they can, and all of these events are in the Houston area, by the way. So Prosperity Group is on the 10th, and I will be speaking at that event. And then This Latina Buys Houses also has an event, and that event will be on the 15th of August. Both of these are in August. I will try to tag them on this video so you guys can have all the details on those events. So I think those are all my disclaimers and news updates about real estate. So anyway, I guess we'll jump right in. If you guys want to start asking your questions, we'll get started. So I'm gonna go check here on the side, make sure that everything was shared correctly and everything is ready to go. And then you guys just start asking your questions away, and I will try to get to answering them. Be right back. Okay, so. Okay. We're all set. So, okay, I checked. We're all ready. So, yes, Eddie, this is a big chair, and I'm small, so I need a stool to get on the chair. So anyway, let's see.
How do you find the properties?
Okay, and this question is from, I'm trying to pronounce your name, I'm sorry if I don't say it right, is Dania. How do you find properties? So, we look for properties everywhere. I mean, real estate investing, I guess, is, or in my opinion, is all about the opportunity. You know, we have opportunities everywhere. It's just us being able to recognize those opportunities that are presented to us. So like if you're going to the store, you can, and this is my favorite way to look for properties, because I feel like those are unique leads that no one else has. It's not a list that somebody's trying to sell you, or whatever the case may be. For me, it's just like driving to the grocery store, I'll stop by a neighborhood nearby. Or if I'm going shopping for clothes, or not for jewelry anymore, because I buy my own jewelry, but if I'm going to an event, or if I'm, you know, doing whatever, you find properties there because you go to these neighborhoods and you look, you know, like just the other day, I went to lunch with a friend, and I left about 30 to 40 minutes before, and I drove a neighborhood close by to where we were meeting for lunch, and I got like 15, 20 leads, organic leads that no one else has, because I picked those houses out of that neighborhood. Another way I find properties is an opportunity to tell someone what you're doing. Every time you tell someone what you're doing, they know. So they're informed of what is it that you're doing, so they think about you. I get a lot of people that call me, hey Dee, I saw this house and I thought of you. Here's the details. So those are my two favorite ways to acquire properties, is by telling people what you're doing, because everyone can look for you. And by stopping by, you know, 5-10 minutes in a neighborhood and looking for properties there. You can also get lists from, you know, like, I don't know, I used to do this a lot. I haven't done it in a while, but I haven't marketed for anything in a while. So, but Yellow Letters Complete, I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but I've used them before. They provide a list, and they provide the direct mail. And I don't remember how much it is, but it's like $1 or something per letter, including the lead, which, I got something in my eye. Which is, I think, a great deal. So you just kind of give them your criteria, what you're looking for, like what type of house, what neighborhood, or what zip code, or, you know, around the balance that they owe for the property, or do you want free and clear properties? So that's a good list to go with. I don't know if you want a little bit more options. I can definitely give you more options as to, but those are the few that come to mind right away. So hopefully that answers your question, and thank you for joining me, and thank you for listening. So next question.
It says, how do you know you have a good deal when it's difficult to find comps? Not even one with this particular property.
How can you find, or how do you know it's a good deal when it's difficult to find comps? Yeah, that's a tough one. You're just going to have to keep going back to until you can find something. It's not the ideal way to find your comps, but let's say, for instance, you have a 3-2, right, which is the normal, I guess, go-to house. So you have a 3-2, and there's no comps in the last 6 months, which is normally, you don't want to go beyond 6 months because that's what an appraiser is going to do. And anything that you go further, it's really not, the market changes all the time, so it's not really a good comp. Don't use it. But if you do not have any other choice, neither is the appraiser. So just make sure you do your due diligence correctly, and that you make sure that there are really no other comps. Try to stay within that neighborhood. Don't try to go outside the neighborhood, but if you have to go back a year or 2 years or sometimes even 3 years, then that's what you're just going to have to do to get some kind of number out of there. It's not ideal to go by what the neighborhood average is as far as like the county appraisal district does. Like, you know, my neighborhood, if you look at the houses that are my size in the neighborhood, most of them are appraised with the county about the same. So you can kind of take that number and guesstimate a good number, and then you can also take the comps from years back and see if they kind of level out. And don't take it too seriously. I mean, you should take your ARV, you should take your comps very, very seriously, because I mean, you're playing with like thousands and thousands of dollars. But at the end of the day, the market changes, and it's just a number that you're working with. Maybe it's a neighborhood that it's very established, so not a lot of people move in and out, or perhaps it's in a rural area that not a lot of activity, like in a subdivision that's pre-planned or anything like that. So what I would suggest is that to go back until you can find some comps, and use the appraisal district's, I guess, tax value of the house to kind of guesstimate what you could potentially sell it for, and create value that way, because that's most likely what an appraiser is going to have to do anyway. So just the only thing I can say about that is be very, very conservative with your numbers. So if everything you see is 200,000, that's the number that you come up with, you know, I would go down maybe 10 or even 15, 20K. So I would go with my ARV being like 180, 185. Because I would want to be conservative about that ARV or that value that I'm giving that house, just so I am safe when I, you know, submit my offer or whatever, because it's unknown, and to me it's just it's not a good idea to invest in something that you're not 100% sure that you're going to be okay with. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't know if I rambled on too much about that. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, just go ahead and comment again, and I can try to explain it a little bit better. Thank you for your question, though.
Okay, the next question says, how do you skip trace?
How do I skip trace? I've never tried it. I've never done that. Normally, I just get, if I get a lead, I send them a letter. If they live in the house, I try to go knock on the door and talk to them. or because I like to talk in person better. I just feel like when you talk to a seller over the phone and try to negotiate over the phone, like literally they can just hang up on you and, you know, go about their day. But if you're in person, it's a little bit harder to slam the door in your face or kick you out of their kitchen or whatever. So you have a little bit better chance, in my opinion, to actually try to meet that person in person than to, you know, call them. But what I do is just that, or, you know, if it's a owner that doesn't live in that residence, you know, I try to go to that property where they live at, leave them a note and say, hey, look, here's my number. Like, it's a little bit more personal. For me, that's what works. Now, if this is not the way you work, you know, it has to work with your personality as well. For me, this is what I do. And so I like it to be personal, because if someone is trying to reach me, that's how I would like it to be. So I feel like I show that when I try to look at or try to find these sellers, so I have a little bit more success than if I were to do something that doesn't go with my personality. But that's what I do. If they don't live in the house, then I just go to their house and I just leave a note. I'll ring the doorbell sometimes to see if anyone's home. If no one's home, then I just leave like a little sticky note or a little letter that I put in their mailbox or stick it by their door. And I'm just like, hey, look, I stopped by your house at 123 Main Street. I really loved it. I want to buy it. And here's my contact info. I mean, literally 1 or 2 sentences, because if you're like me and you get distracted by this little butterfly that just flew by, I get distracted so easily. Like, I have to focus on everything that I'm doing. And for me to read a whole Bible of a letter, it's not going to happen. I get a lot of investors, or sometimes I get letters to the properties that I own, my rental properties, you know, investors wanting to buy my house for cash and, you know, no fees and everything. It's a long letter. I mean, it's professional. It's really professional. And there's nothing against those people that do that. But, you know, for me, I'm not going to read it all. I mean, some of those I do read, obviously, because I want to see what they're saying or what they're doing. But if I were a seller, I would not read it, because when I get mail at my house, literally I read the first 2 sentences. And if I'm not interested in that point, then I just toss it. So my letters are very, very short. You know, I just say what I want, and here's my contact info, and let's get going. Look, I just finished saying that I get distracted so easily. I don't even remember what was the question.
How do you skip trace?
How do I skip trace?
Yeah.
There we go. See, my point exactly. So anyway, I don't do skip trace. I just go and knock on their doors and look for them that way. So thank you for your question. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if it doesn't, comment below and I will try to be more specific.
Okay, the next question is from Rhonda Padilla. D, who is the CPA you use to set up your LLC?
Rhonda? Okay, who was my CPA that set up my LLC? I work with 2 CPAs at the moment, and they both do wonders. So I don't know if you can do me a favor, and in that comment for Rhonda, could you please say, like, you know, thank you for your question, and then also mention Jamie. Yeah, Jamie Johnson, and then Janet Long. So I'll go ahead and tag them both on the comment that you made, so that way they can go ahead and get it, or you guys can, you know, talk over and do whatever is it that you guys want to do. So hopefully they can help you. They are great. They both have helped me a lot. They're great CPAs. I love them. So They do my taxes now, so hopefully they help you out. Okay, so
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. The next question says, do you wholesale, and if so, how do you find your first wholesale deal?
Do I wholesale? And who's this question from?
Paris Moore.
Paris Moore. Do I wholesale, and where do I find my wholesales? Or was that the question?
How do you find your first wholesale deal? Mm-hmm.
How did I find my first? How did I? Or okay. So I don't really wholesale a lot these days. I think it's been about 2 years that the last wholesale deal that I did. But I mean, it's just the same as if you were going to find a rehab. And I actually recommend you starting out with wholesaling. If you're investing in real estate, it's a lot less risky to do wholesaling. You really don't have to involve a lot of money other than what you're having to do for your marketing. But as far as involved or money that you have tied up in the deal, you really don't have to do a lot. Usually when I put my deals under contract, I only put like $10 of earnest money and about $10 as an option money fee. So I don't spend a lot of money in those deals, and the reason is because you have so many deals under contract that, I mean, let's say that you have 5 deals under contract, and if you're having to do $2,000 worth of earnest money in each deal, then you have $10,000 out of pocket right then and there, just sitting at a title company. So you really don't want to do something like that. But I mean, if you have the funds to rehab, then that's great. I would suggest you start with wholesaling, and you just basically market, just like I talked earlier about, going and finding these lists, going to Yellow Letters Complete, going to, getting lists from other sources, or doing Driving for Dollars, or, networking with other people. And, my last resort is getting it from a wholesaler if I'm going to rehab. But if you're trying to wholesale, it's just getting your marketing out. The more marketing you do, the better numbers or better chances you have of scoring a deal. So for me, that's I guess that's pretty much it. It's just trying to find it that way. Hopefully that answers your question. Just keep doing it. I mean, I think the first deal that I got, I started in May of 2012, and the first deal I got was in October, November of the same year. So literally it wasn't that much time, and it took me a little bit longer than I would hope that it would take me, only because the first 2-3 months that I started really investing into real estate, it was about learning, which is very, very important. Like, you have to be really educated or educate yourself to start doing this business. Of course, you're not going to really gather or grasp the situation until you actually get your hands in there and get dirty with the deal, and you'll learn by mistakes and stuff that you're doing. But I mean, it took me that long to do my first deal. So, I mean, if this is your first deal, don't get discouraged. Just keep marketing, keep sending out letters, keep sending out postcards, go knock on doors, try to talk to as many people as you can, and tell them about what you're doing so they all know and they think about you when they're trying to sell a house. So, hopefully that helps you, and good luck. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, same person.
Same person, Paris Moore. Are you a licensed agent? If so, what are the pros and cons as an investor with? And there's nothing.
Okay, so Paris, you're saying, am I a licensed real estate agent? I recently became one. I believe this is my 2nd year. I'm not really sure. But I decided to go for my license just because. I don't really have a reason why I decided to do it. 3-4 years prior to me getting my license, I was doing real estate investing without a license. You don't need a license to buy your own properties and sell your own properties. So in the state of Texas, I'm not sure about other states, but in the state of Texas, you don't need to be a licensed realtor to do your own transactions. So I didn't feel like I needed to have that license. But, you know, I don't know if you know a little bit about my background, but I don't have a lot of education. So just getting that license was more about just personal accomplishments other than, you know, really needing that license. So I just went ahead and got it. It was pretty simple, pretty easy for me because I had already been in the business for such a long time, you know, that I'm saying a long time that not because I haven't been in the business in a long time, but a long time as far as like to know what, you know, what is expected of a real estate agent. So, yeah, I became a licensed realtor, and really it hasn't hindered anything. The only thing that I can say is you just have to disclose everything. When I do my contracts, before they updated the TREC contract for Texas, they had a little space where you could just put provisions, and I used to always put like, I'm a licensed real estate agent and I'm buying this property with the intent to profit, or whatever the case may be. But you always want to disclose. So when you're buying this deal, there's no question that the seller doesn't know who you are and what your intentions are. So I've never had an issue with it because I always disclose. I try to be as transparent as I possibly can with any of my sellers. And I try to have a good relationship with them. So really, you know, it doesn't hinder you in any kind of way if you're trying to get your license. I think it's great. If you're going to try to I guess dedicate yourself more to wholesaling, perhaps I would say maybe not. Not that it matters, again, because if you disclose it, it does not matter. But some people are just a little bit more, you know, they don't really like wholesalers to have a license, from what I hear. But if you're rehabbing, even if you're wholesaling, it doesn't matter. The only thing I do now is whenever I finish a property and I put it on the market, I put it on the market myself, so I get to keep that that commission for me instead of giving it to another agent, unless that agent, or not that agent, unless that deal that I'm getting ready to put on the market was brought to me by an agent. When a deal is brought to me by an agent, I feel like even though I have my license, that agent brought me that deal. So if that agent brought me the deal to buy it and they represented me when I bought that deal, they're going to represent me when I sell that deal, because without them, I wouldn't have that deal in the first place. So I always make sure that, you know, they get both sides of that transaction. But other than that, I list my own property, so I've not had an issue with it. I don't wholesale a lot, but if I did, I would just disclose that I'm an agent that is licensed in the state of Texas, and I'm buying this deal with the intent to profit. That's it. So that's what I put in my contract. So hopefully that helps you. Thank you for your question.
Okay, Paris Moore again. How did you build your brand in your market, and what advice do you have for me?
Okay, Paris. Your question is, how did I build my brand and what?
In your market.
In my market, and
what advice do you have for me?
What advice do I have for you? Okay, so let me think about that. I don't consider myself that I have a brand, but I guess I kind of do have a brand. I didn't think to build a brand. It just kind of happens on its own after you've done this for a while. It all kind of comes together. for me, it was more of like whenever I did a deal or I did a fire damage house or whatever, like people just hashtag for me, like burn house queen or renovation diva or whatever. And so it just kind of stuck. And I was like, you know what, let me go ahead. And it was a little bit of like a fighting battle for me when I decided to brand Renovation Diva, because and I asked a few people that I really value their opinion that are in real estate, that, you know, are some of the top people in real estate. And so I was like, would you do business with me if you knew that my company name was Renovation Diva? Like, I want to be taken seriously, especially a female in the real estate investing world. You know, we can't afford not to be taken seriously. Like, we have to really care for our name and really value that, because these guys are savages. So anyway, but I asked some of these people, they're like, yeah, you should do it. So that's how it kind of branded my company, and now it's stuck. I mean, everyone knows, not everyone, but you know what I mean. Everyone that's important knows who the Renovation Diva is. So that's really how it happened. The only advice I give you is just really be yourself, you know, let your personality come out, and it just kind of, it comes out on its own. Don't push it, and, you know, just let it flow, and your branding will come. You know, once you find your place in this world, it'll be there for you. You'll recognize it when it's there. So hopefully that answers your question.
Okay. We have another question from Paris.
Okay. Paris, you're just all over it, aren't you? Love it.
It says, it's a comment along with her comment. It says, your story is inspiring. You are one of the mastery student stories that keeps me uplifted and positive in my times of doubt and discouragement. Keep doing what you do.
Oh, well, thank you, Paris. I love all your questions, and I wish you the best. I really hope that you can do all this that we're doing, and you know that you're here with us, investing for a long, long time. So, thank you.
Okay, Cecilia commented, let everyone know if they want to meet you to come to our event on Thursday.
Okay, well, Cecilia, if you can do me a favor and put the link on the comments of whatever is the event details. I already mentioned it when we first started the live, and I said I was going to tag you guys. So if you can do me a favor and tag Cecilia and Emilda and AC, so they can go ahead and share the details. So if you could just comment that on the post, that would be great. Okay, what's the next one?
Cassandra.
Hi, Cassandra.
It says, Redfin investor friendly realtor showed me a house off of MLS that needed electrical, plumbing, AC, but was recently painted, new carpet. I asked what the owner was thinking. She said that she was trying to avoid foreclosure, but it's not listed as a foreclosure. Is there a way to verify this besides relying on the realtor?
Okay.
It's a long question.
Yes, Ooh, Cassandra. You're gonna have to tell me that one again, girlfriend.
Okay.
No, that's too long. Don't tell me again. We'll be here for another 20 years.
The main question is there a way to verify, I guess, the owner is without relying on the realtor?
I guess your question is it another way to verify if the homeowner is going through foreclosure without relying on the realtor? Let me tell you this, Cassandra, if you can't trust the realtor, then I would suggest you get another realtor. You should be able to trust your realtor. And that realtor should be working very hard to get you what you want. So if that realtor is not to your satisfaction, you should get another realtor that can definitely give you the correct information. I have my license, so obviously if you need something, I will be more than happy to help your girlfriend to get that information. So why don't you send me a text, and you can send me the address, and I can go in and look for you and let you know what I find on the listing, if that makes sense to you. Hopefully it does. But yeah, I mean, if you don't trust your realtor, don't do business with that realtor. And it should say on the listing if there is a foreclosure, but it doesn't necessarily have to say it. I mean, some realtors, I hate to say this, but some realtors are very lazy when it comes to putting as much details as possible on the listing. So sometimes it may not be on there, even though it is. So if that realtor perhaps is telling you it's not on there, it may not be your realtor. It may just be the realtor that listed it. And if it's the same realtor, then maybe they just were lazy about it and didn't put that information on the listing. But I wouldn't know. I mean, I can definitely try to help you find that out. And, you know, we can go from there. So hopefully that helps.
Okay. Rhonda Padilla just wants the phone number for the CPAs you have. So
Did you tag them on the comment?
I don't. I would say no. I wouldn't know how to.
Okay, let me see it so I can do it. Where's the comment?
On the computer?
Well, you passed it up. I was going through. Just scroll.
Okay, Rhonda. Okay, so write a comment. Rhonda. I don't. Oops. I think I just posted Rhonda. Let me see. Let me try to do it with the laptop because. Do you have her?
It's one of the questions on there. So.
I know, but you guys could have. Okay.
I'm not a social media type of person.
Rhonda, I can't tag her on here. So. Why does it say pin comment?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were trying to figure out.
Okay, so let me, Jamie. It's not giving me anyone's.
Well, just have her send you a message.
Okay, so Rhonda, I guess we can't tag anyone for some reason at the moment. So why don't you write a note to tag Jamie and Janet to her comment after we're done with the live. So we'll do that afterwards to see what's happening. So we're having technical difficulties and I'm not tech savvy, so I can't figure it out right now. But as soon as we're done and we finish the live, I'll go ahead and try to figure out what's going on, okay? So, do we have any more questions?
No. Cecilia sent the link you wanted, so I'm looking at it.
Okay, so maybe do you want to refresh and see if, can you refresh and see if there's any other comments?
Yes. Sabrina says she was in school with you at the Champion School of Real Estate.
Hi Sabrina, how are you? I'm glad you're joining our little Facebook Live. Hopefully you're enjoying it and hopefully it's beneficial to you. Nice to see you again.
Of course, you could wait for Rhonda Padilla. She says she'll be there Thursday. So I'll see you Thursday.
Okay, so Rhonda, you're going to be at Prosperity's event on Thursday. So perhaps on Thursday we can also just share that information with you then. So looking forward to meeting you there. So I guess, do you guys have any more questions?
Paris Moore said, I would love to have lunch with you at Ignite if you will be there.
Oh, okay, Paris. I think I am going to be at Ignite. I'm in the works of trying to figure out if I'm going to be there. So if I am going to be at Ignite, I'll definitely let you guys know. And, I think I'll do maybe another live before that time comes, which I believe is in December. So if that's the case, I'll definitely let you guys know in my live previous to going to Ignite. And that way you guys can figure out and we can set up a time or something to meet up with everyone and have dinner and just discuss real estate. So, looking forward to it.
Sabrina, question. I have a remodeling company. How much would you say is a good amount of cash to start a remodel, flip a home?
Okay, so Rhonda, you said you have a construction company and remodeling company, and you want to know what's a good number to start remodeling a house. I really can't answer that for you without having more details. Every deal will be different. There'll be something new with that deal. So it depends on the size of the house. It depends the extent of the rehab that you're going to do. I mean, is it just lipstick, or is it an entire makeover? I mean, what type of remodel it is. Like, I've done remodels where we spent 20-30 grand, and we've done remodels that take almost $200,000. So I can't give you an answer for that. I do apologize, but there's no way. There's so many variables there that I wouldn't be able to give you a good number. So sorry. I hope that I don't know if that was what you were asking. If not, then of course go ahead and ask the question again. But that's what I can help you with. So anyway, are there any more questions?
Just want to know.
Okay, one more question, and then we're gonna go ahead and disconnect. But if you guys like the video, or someone that would like the video, tag them on the comments, and then let me know if you want me to do another video next month. And if I do a video next month, it'll be the first Monday of, I don't know what, September, whatever that is. What's the first Monday of September? Okay, the first Monday is, it would be Labor Day, September 4th. So if you guys want me to do one, it would be at 7 p.m. Central Time. Let me know if you want me to do one for September. If not, then we can go ahead and skip. I think we would skip actually the rest of the year, maybe, because if we don't, then it's October, and the first Monday in October, I'm actually going on my first cruise, so I will not be available to any of you guys from the 2nd to the 6th of October. I will be gone, out of town. So then it would be November. November 6th will be the next available. Or December 4th. So I can do one of those. If you guys want me to do it in September, which would be Labor Day, let me know. And if we get a good response of everyone, then we can go ahead and do one in September. If not, then we'll wait till November, which would be November 6th. So September 4th or November 6th. Or both, whatever. So tell me, give me your comments. Let me know if you want me to do this again. If you find this informative, give it a like, share it with your friends, and whoever has questions about real estate, this is the reason why I donate my time once a month to help others, I guess make your real estate dreams reality. You know, I feel like this is my way of giving back, and I really love doing it. But because we are all busy, you know, I can only donate 1 hour or so a month to just answer whatever questions you guys have. And so just let me know what you guys want me to do. If you guys want something in September, then comment and let me know. Okay, so I'm done rambling. The last question, and then we will say goodbye.
Cassandra, I guess this is related to the questions you had earlier. Should my exit strategy be rental, even if 75% of the homes in the neighborhood are rentals and the others are being sold?
Should your exit strategy be a rental on a deal that you're looking at? It just depends on what you want to do. What is your goal? What do you want to do out of that? If you cannot sell it as a rehab, because you know when you're doing a rental exit strategy, is because the numbers are tight, or because you're okay with getting your investment, the total investment that you put in that property, back in small portions until you get, you know, the rest of your money. But you'll be getting your money just constantly throughout. But it's not a, sorry, you just threw my train of thought. I don't know what the question, sorry about that. I don't know what the question was.
Should my exit strategy be rental?
Okay, so anyway, if you want to do your exit strategy as a rental, just keep in mind that it's going to be long term, that you're going to get your investment back. If the numbers don't work for anything else, but you want, see, here's the thing. You shouldn't get attached to a deal. Sometimes this is what happens, and maybe I don't know if this is the case or not. It just feels like maybe that's what it is. Sometimes we're so eager to find a deal and to do a deal that we just want to make it work however, you know, and that's not the good answer. You shouldn't do that. If it doesn't work for what you're wanting to do with it, then you should move on to the next deal. Don't get attached to those deals because they're not going to work out, you know. But if that's what you're wanting to do, if you're wanting to invest in passive income, if you're wanting to invest in getting that money slowly, great, do it that way. There's no right or wrong way of investing in long-term strategies. But is that what you're wanting to do? I guess that would be my question. Are you wanting to rent it out because the numbers don't work as a rehab, and that's really what you're wanting to do? Or is it that you're really wanting to start to build your rental portfolio? Which one of the two is it? And that would be a question for you to answer yourself. And depending on the answer that you come up with, then that's what you do. I mean, if you're wanting to do this deal because it's there's no other choice and there's no room for you to do a rehab, don't take a deal like that. I wouldn't recommend it. So in my opinion, that's not something that you should do, because at the end of the day, you're just going to bite. You're going to have to bite the bullet and eat that money that you're losing. So anyway, I don't know if that made sense. Hopefully that did make sense. Just give me a call about that deal. We can discuss it offline, and I'll try to help you figure it out if that helps you. Hopefully that does. Okay? So, are there any more questions? No more questions. Okay, guys. So, one last time, if you like the video, give it a like. If you know anyone that's looking to do real estate investing, share that video. We are going to be having an event on Thursday, the 10th. I believe the details to the event have already been commented below, so check that out. There's also another event for Spanish-speaking community that This Latina Buys Houses is going to be hosting on the 15th, so I will make sure she puts the link for that information below. If you want me to do another video on Labor Day, Monday, the first Monday of September, let me know, comment below. If not, then we'll just wait until November. Okay? So let me know. Love you bunches. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for spending some time with me, hearing me ramble about real estate. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I guess until next time, whenever that will be. You guys have a great evening. Thank you. Bye.